Welcome to the 50th episode of Stuff Weekly. Kind of weekly lately, I admit. And what a great treat we have, because we're going to talk about the new tokenomics, the token burn, the product-driven buybacks, and all this good stuff. Then we'll also spend some time on the latest tech wrap-up to see what's cooking. All right, let's go. The new token page is up on stuff.io. And yeah, pretty good. We see how many holders, market cap, volume, and so on. Or that's just FYI, I guess. Can buy on different places. Polygon coming soon. Okay, and yeah, this is the first thing that is really nice. How many stuff tokens have been burned? 150 millions. I think at that time it was like $800,000 worth of stuff being burned. It's huge. This will be every epoch, so every 5 days. We're gonna burn some stuff. You can view the burn wallet, the burn schedule. But long story short, it's going down. Then we have some new infographics. So we're gonna get into this. There was a space dedicated to that, but I'll just do my own commentary instead. So the big change basically is that before we had consume to earn, which was 50% of the tokens allocated. This will be burned down progressively every 5 days. Consume to earn is not dead, it's just the tokens which are allocated to it that disappear. Instead, we're gonna use a portion of the asset sales to power consume to earn. So here you see how it works. Asset sale, creator takes 70%. And creator had to use stuff. This doesn't change, so still the use case for the stuff token. So 70% for the creator, 30% for the company. Out of those 30%, 70% go to the company for maintenance costs and so on, and 30% are used to buy stuff tokens. So 30% of 30%, which is like 9%, something like this, of the asset sale goes into buying stuff tokens. So if this is, the 10 USD sale, then 90 cents go to buy stuff. And this, when sell like that, maybe it's not impressive, but when you imagine big boys coming in and selling hundreds of thousands of assets, then it's crazy stuff token purchases happening. You have to think like this, like the scale, the potential. Okay, so what do they do with this stuff they just bought? So actually this will power up a lot of things. So consume to earn, still here, just will be powered up by this portion there. There's 30% stuff buy. Then layer 2 node rewards. Layer 2 that they plan to do, we get a bit more into it during the tech wrap-up, but long story short, they plan like 24 months to get there. So not yet. Storage rewards, I'm not sure when, we don't have a timeline for this, but hey, okay, you can be, you can store some shards of DEAs on your end and get rewarded for it. Staking rewards, I don't remember about that actually, but you can, stake to the stuff pool, and instead of getting ADA rewards, you get stuff plus 10%. So maybe they will, use these stuff tokens they buy here to extend the duration of those rewards. Marketing and advertising, ambassador/sales commission, and token burn. Ambassador/sales commission, very interesting. I think it's something that can be a great motivation for people to go and reach out to the offers they like, the bands they like, and push them to put their stuff on stuff, and then get a little something out of it. Sure, it will be in stuff token, but hey, you can always convert that if you need to be liquid. And then, out of those 30% stuff buy, some portion will be used for token burn. So to be clear, you have two token burns. The 50% which are allocated to consume to earn before, so 5 billion tokens, which will decrease slowly over a period of 2 years or so, something like this, 2 or 3 years. And then you have basically a buyback program where they will also use a portion of that to burn the token. So the token is deflationary, and the more popular the platform is, the more they sell, the more they burn. So that's pretty cool. Also, the more they buy back, so constant buying pressure on the market, and it allows them to power up this layer 2, this decentralized storage solution. So it makes a lot of sense to not create new tokens or don't give them out of nowhere, but take the ones that are on the market. So it will be a crazy buying pressure, in my opinion, once we get more volume. Then we have the whole schematics of the ecosystem, and wow, it is it is quite complex. So we start here. What we know, the old stuff. Hey, I'm a creator. What can I use my stuff for? I use it to mint stuff. I will use it to create physical products. Maybe, I'm a band, I want to make t-shirts or something, and I need to use stuff. So this is interesting, and they said they were working on it. So pretty cool to have physical stuff. I have the book cap, the book.io jacket, and they look really cool. So I hope they will work with the same company. And then you can pay stuff to access analytics dashboard and advertising platform. So obviously out of those 4 use cases, only the first one is live. So okay, it goes on the marketplace, and then hey, you sell something. And that's the beauty of it, is that this is somehow permissionless in a sense, that anyone can come as long as they own the rights, and that it's no pornography, I believe. That's the limit. So they can put their stuff out there. And so the more people come, the more stuff they use, and then the more stuff they sell. Remember, I did this video about how much, what is the return on investment on a creator mint, and it was like a 3x on average. So you buy stuff, you create, you mint your music or your video, whatever. You sell that, you make a 3x, and then out of this money, out of those sales, well, one part goes to the company, and this 30%, goes to commissions, marketing, treasury, L2 operators, consume to earn, storage operators, staking rewards, and some gets burnt. So the more people will come, the more sales there will be, because hopefully they bring the audience, they do some marketing. So the more buybacks there are, and the more token burn varies. So it's like, will there be a point that there will be no token? Probably not, because token is divisible up to the 6th decimal place, I think. So at some point we'll just trade very small portions of tokens. So that's this big new part here. From the consumer side, well, you consume your stuff, your media, you read, you listen, you watch. It gets verified and you get those rewards back. So this is like a loyalty program. I don't think, we'll get a lot of, rewards. Because when you had consume to earn, you got 5 billion tokens, and there was this kind of block mining, knowledge mining system, meaning that, hey, if in this 4-hour window, if you read 10% of everything that was read by everyone, then you get 10% of the rewards. And that could have been a bit crazy, like in the thousands of tokens every 4 hours. But here, I mean, we need to see what's the pot of consume to earn, yeah? How they will manage that. I guess they will buy a lot of tokens up front to have something to kickstart the model with. And then we'll see. And then it will be like the flywheel that anyway your token rewards are somehow a cash back on when you bought the asset. So, earning stuff by consume to earn is just bonus. I don't expect a lot from it. Then you can use that to access social groups. Base is still not developed. And if you own assets and you want to lend them, you can be rewarded in stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then they talk about secondary marketplace with earn stuff rewards. And here I'm not clear if it's like, I don't know, like you have this JPEG token on JPEG store. Like the more you trade, the more you get rewarded in stuff tokens. This sounds like anecdotic to me. Like, what's the point? I would rather be like, hey, if you hold, I don't know, 1,000 stuff, then you pay less commissions. Something like this. So that's the new system. Two huge use cases, L2 operators, storage operators. But more importantly, until that comes in, it's the token burn. And what they said is that they try to launch consume to earn. At the same time, they will have a lot of content available. So consume to earn is planned for this year. And the first bit they're gonna work on is this consumption verification, basically tracking what people are doing in the app and making sure that they don't game the system. So once we have a lot of content, which is supposed to happen this year, remember, goal of 1 million users, a lot of content, then we can launch consume to earn. And if you have a lot of content, you get a lot of sales, and then the cycle starts. And then you have this kind of, I don't know how to call it, like this house pattern. So stuff is at the base of everything. It powers up the minting engine, media delivery, layer 2 media storage. And that in turn allows creators to publish their work, which ends up on the retail marketplace. And then there's another layer, which is secondary marketplace. So long story short, much stronger product, tokenomics. The more they sell, the more is burned. And also a quick shout out to Yure and Song Market Cap team. They're doing the same. I think in the last sale, I think it was this Farah token. They took 10% of their profits to buy stuff token and burn it. It's very meme-like in a sense that, hey, I'm gonna buy tokens and burn them just to decrease the supply. So yeah, that's pretty cool to have also creators doing the same thing. Now, when we look at the token price, how did it react? So on 21st, that was the announcement that, hey, we're gonna burn 50%. On 29th, that's when they did the space to talk about all this in detail. And yeah, plus 10% here. And then, yeah, probably another 5 or 6% at the top there. And then since then, Elon Musk's Donald Trump fight, and here we are. So on the 7th day, we are minus 4% more or less, which is not great, but you see here this kind of 5 cents. Sorry, 5 cents is, I wish, 0.5 cents. Support line, this is holding pretty strong, but then yeah, it's lower highs. How long can it bounce like this? At some point, people reacted, it was good, but short term. But the token burn started, so that's just a fact that the supply will decrease. And question is, when do they start the product sale driven token burn? Because this one will also be interesting. Just quickly checking my notes to see if there was anything else interesting that they said during that space. Yeah, something kind of a little bit of alpha, let's say, is that this, when they do this buyback, this stuff market purchase, they said it's the next epoch of when it happens. So here you see it's 30%. So basically my point is, crazy scenario. Have big artists coming in, selling 100,000 tokens. So crazy sales. well, you know that then Stuff is gonna buy a crazy amount of Stuff tokens on the market. So you can front run them basically. So yeah, I wonder if it will work or if everyone already thought about it. But basically when they will buy a lot, then the price will increase. So you want to get ahead of them and buy, because you're gonna see on the blockchain how many units are being sold, how much money they're making. So then just get in there and dump on them after they did their market purchase. It's kind of scalping in a sense, but that's pretty cool. They also added that, they have a new person focused on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, which is really important. A lot of normies, they are there, they're not on X. So it's really important to get the word on those platforms too. Really curious who's gonna step up and be on TikTok, Instagram or Facebook. I think there's a space to take, definitely. What else? Videos of the creator portal. This is really close. They need to do the testing, so hopefully we'll get that soon. Huge partnerships in the pipeline as usual. In discussion with other centralized exchanges. I'm not a fan of centralized exchanges because they do arbitrage. So it tends to put the price down, I feel like. At least this is the experience with Mexi. And then they said that they got new hires, and they have new partnerships even to be confirmed soon. So a lot of things in the pipeline, more robust tokenomics, token burn. You can follow it here. So you can see how much they're gonna burn every time. So it's in the hundreds of millions for quite a while. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because it's a lot being burned, and even if these tokens were not really released yet because they were in this cold wallet for consume to earn, like from the marketing perspective, I understand. Like my first thought was that they should just burn everything at once and hasta la vista, we're done. But the fact that they do it progressively like this every 5 days, then every 5 days means that there's a message somewhere that we burned that much and it's that much USD. So it keeps the message out there. And I think that when new people will come in, especially from other blockchains, they will see, it's being burnt. And wow, it's powered by the asset sale. They do buyback and they burn even more. Then I think this will talk to a lot of people. We got the monthly tech wrap up this week. We talked about quite a lot of things, so let's just go through it. First, this AI for Dummies promotion is done. It was in partnership with Wiley, one of the big publishers. Not one of the big five, but like a generally big publisher about educational content. They have more things to come with them. And you may remember that they had this promotion on the Publishers Weekly covers, all 4 of them. And I looked at the book.io profile on OpenSea and tried to look up this book. And for some reason, it appears several times. Every time it's on base. So I don't know if they're all valid, but I guess so. So here we see 339, 46, 268. So it's roughly 650 copies. This is huge. It's huge. Of course, there are people, like us online, like the degens who got it, even if it's on base, we don't care. And we got it. But looking at how many active people are on Discord, I would say maybe like 200, but the rest is probably completely new people who were on Publishers Weekly, or like I did, I just shared it at work. We have like an AI group. I just shared it with my colleagues, and I hope they got on it. No one replied back like, is it a scam? So hopefully it was a smooth experience for them. But that's pretty cool. If they did get like 600 books out there and potentially a few hundred more holders, people exposed to book.io, that's powerful. It's a good way to onboard new people. Okay, then they talk about, okay, they're testing now the ability to preview content after minting, because hey, when you mint, it takes maybe 1-2 minutes to get to your wallet, and well, you don't want to wait, you want to consume right away. So they are testing that now, and when you have your reveal and you can click a button to directly consume your content, like you don't go to your bookshelf, you open directly the asset. They work on the user profile so that everyone has their own page with the ability to have a username, a display name, and social links. And then the idea is to build that up to a place where you can follow each other, you can show your favorite books, and I guess down the line you could even bid on each of the books or something like this. On the bookshelf side, they're doing an overhaul of the web reader. It was quite interesting because they explained that basically Ingram invests in a non-profit organization which goal is to create a standardized web reader. And book, they are using that web reader. The thing is that they implemented it like 3 years ago, and since then there are a lot of updates. So now they need to catch up, and they're working on that now. So that's pretty nice because we may get some new functionalities. I don't know, taking notes, highlighting, I don't know. But anyway, always good to have a better product, something that is more current. On the wallet side, ability to disconnect the currently connected wallet. There's a lot of interferences between wallets. Like one is trying to connect and doesn't let the other one connect. So it's pretty good, I guess, to do it like that. And they have this idea to be able to nickname wallets. So you know what is linked to your account, what type of books, what kind of wallets. And of course, the ability to connect multiple wallets. So multiple wallets from the same blockchain that they're all linked to the same account. But they explain that this kind of crypto-specific stuff tends to be pushed down the priority list because crypto market is tiny. What matters is mass adoption. On the mobile side, they built a lot of features, but there are dependencies with other stuff they're building, so they are holding off before releasing. They're doing a full UI revamp on the user profile. You can put your profile picture, social links. They got the promo codes working on mobile. I think this is already live, that you can scan like a QR code, and you can scan with the app so that you mint directly to your account like this. And they will add the ability to mint and print directly from mobile. Right now they're doing this integration with Ingram to get access to their rates. We also did some quick UI enhancements on the Fire TV app, which I don't use, but hey, good to know it's not forgotten. On EVM side, they did some bug fixes. They're struggling a bit with fees, apparently. On Cardano, fees are deterministic, like you know how much you're gonna pay. On EVM, you bet that what you pay will be enough for your transaction to be processed. So apparently there's some kind of calculations to be done. Now look at, okay, how much were the fees before? Okay, it was processed with that, that high of a fee, so I should put something in that same ballpark, something like that. So they're working on this. They said that more and more fungible token mints are coming, and they're also doing those promo codes for fungible tokens. The AI for them is, as we can see here, maybe not here exactly, but all of this actually, they're NFTs, they have a different book number. Okay. And they said that also if they do fungible token, it's faster and cheaper to handle. So for giveaways, they shouldn't throw their own money away, obviously. But they can just mint a ton of tokens, and then when someone mints, they actually just buy from the supply which already exists. So it's just one transaction, not a minting transaction which involves a smart contract. Something quite big and quite boring at the same time is they're reviving the Onyx ingestion. So Onyx is a big database used by record labels and publishers to have all the metadata about all their books, music singles, albums, and so on. And it's a huge database, apparently up to 1 million columns, which doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's how it is, because it's used by so many people. They all add their own data, their own columns. So they need that to be able to ingest publishers' catalogs. So they said they have several publishers who already committed to give their full catalog. I guess the big 5 and the top 10 publisher, at least. So, okay, they ingest the catalog, but they still need a lot of metadata information. No, they're not gonna do it manually if they have 60,000 ebooks coming from this big 5. So they need to map basically their own metadata with this Onyx database. So this is critical. It's not fun, but it's critical. Otherwise, it's just impossible to do the ingestion. So basically, it's like a piece of infrastructure. And once they do those ingestions of these big catalogs, then book.io and stuff.io are like normal online retailers. They just do standard editions. And collectibles will be like a fraction of everything that is available. So there'll be a big shift in there. So yeah, it's kind of funny to think about it. Like, can you imagine the end of collectibles? We have those mints every day, 400 units, dozens of different covers. And at some point, it's gonna almost stop to be like the end of an era. And hopefully we manage to grow the collector community and, pump our bags. Okay, then a bit of a business update that Josh and Ben actually, they are traveling between NYC and California all the time. It sounds excruciating. And we have conversations with very, very well-known celebrities, people that everyone know. Josh said he took some selfies with them, but he cannot share them until the contracts are done. It sounded like more conversations, that contracts are maybe being prepared or being touched upon, but didn't seem like a deal was done, at least at the moment. And so now the issue they have is that they need to get ready for when the masses come. That they cannot have a website that just stops working, or a minting engine that just goes barely up. So they're working on this now. They have a new initiative to stabilize the website and the minting process. So this is divided in two. First is the classic ways to scale up. So it's probably some IT stuff that I'm sure a lot of companies already solved. But then the other thing is to run their own blockchain indexer. So an indexer is basically you look at, when you take everything that is on the blockchain and you save it on your side, so that when you need information, you don't ping the blockchain directly, but you ping your own, let's call it, database. Something they're doing with Maestro and Blockfrost on Cardano. So basically they ping an API to get information. Like when you load your bookshelf, what happens is that they look at your wallet addresses, which NFTs are in there, and it displays it on the page. And then it does some more API calls to see, okay, what's the value of each asset, to calculate this. So a lot of back and forth is happening. And well, it's not free and it takes time. So basically they want to do their own indexer, so they don't rely on other people anymore. They can do it for all blockchains they are on. And so those kind of API calls will be much faster and much cheaper. And this will also help lessen the load on the website, so making it more resilient for when more people come in. Then they talked about the Tokenomics change. We already talked about it. Going to see if there is anything extra they added. Yeah, they have. Yeah, that was interesting. They have lots of projects signed. Some are close to get done. So there is a need to rush the engineering team to, build up the website. And to the point that Josh is actually stressed about it. And I don't know if you met Josh, but he's like poker face. Like, I met Ben, for instance, first time, we hugged, we smiled, all good. I met Josh, I was like, hey, how are you doing? And that's it. Like, the guy seems, I'm not saying he's cold, but he's very contained, very stoic in a sense. So for this guy to be stressed, it must be big. And he did say that some of the things that are planned are the biggest he has ever done. So a lot of pressure, meaning lots of really actually big things in the pipeline. And one of those is a project to the 100,000 unit giveaway, where they'll be advertising from the IP owners themselves, and that they are very well known in industry. George said they hold a big microphone. So here, when this happens, we need the website to be super smooth, super strong, so those new people come in, they have a smooth experience. And that, 100K giveaway, even if all the stuff holders buy this, it's just 11K, so there's still 89K left of new people. So crazy growth is going to happen. And so it's extremely important that the user experience is smooth and really flawless. It needs to be super easy for them. Otherwise, those 100,000 people are not going to come back. And so there's a change in tokenomics. We talked about it already. They're going to do a new version of the Stuff white paper, a collectible version. And if you hold the first one, you get a huge discount on it. I remember the Stuff white paper. I think don't remember for how much I bought it, but I remember I sold one for 200 ADA, which was a pretty good deal. I made my money back. So for some reason, it was people were really interested on it. I don't know if it's because they thought it was the Bible of stuff. I don't recall exactly. But anywho, a new version will be out there. And then they talked about this layer 2. So what they need is fast finality, high throughput, little to no cost. And what happens on the layer 2 settles on Cardano. At least at the beginning on Cardano, possibly on other chains. And so they said that there will be 3 iterations of this layer 2. The first iteration will be fast finality, high throughput, so probably very centralized. Then they will play with this minimum UTXO and those fees to try to bring the costs down. And then the last iteration, and this is not specific to Cardano, but could be, is to use Stuff to pay for transaction costs. So this is the concept of Babel fees, that instead of paying your transaction fee with ADA, you pay with any other token. I know Fluid tokens, they launched that already. I'm not fully sure how it functions. I think it's some kind of fee market where you can provide ADA to buy, to cover those transaction fees on behalf of someone else, and you get tokens back. But I guess you get them at a better price than if you bought on the DEX, something like this. So L2, they said we have a 24-month roadmap to get there, to build the infrastructure, to tokenize media, and make it available to true large scale. And talking about decentralized media, so there's also this other part, which is this storage solution, where they have some pretty good idea about it. And Josh mentioned that when he thinks about decentralization, he looks at Bitcoin, which has around 21,000 nodes. And he feels confident that the Stuff storage solution will have even more nodes than that. I wonder how they will do it. I would still love to have a version of the app that becomes a node, so that when you consume media, like on your on your computer or your phone, that at the same time you take part in this decentralized storage system. But I don't know if there are any technical difficulties. And sorry, one last thing about consume to earn. So they plan to launch it this year across all media types. So yeah, they nixed the 5 billion because it would inflate supply, push price down. They are token holders, so they care about the token price. They shared this quick story about Patrick from Endmaker asking, hey, is the goal of the company to make token or the equity valuable? And the answer is both. They want the token to be valuable. So this is now official. And they explained that, yeah, Consume to Earn is very large project, lots of resources, like IT resources will be dedicated to that. But that being said, they will start next month putting people on it, starting with this tracking system. And so the idea is that as they build this, they get more and more content on the platform. So when they release Consume to Earn, anyone can come, get some free stuff. Maybe there was a giveaway, they got something, they consume, they get rewarded, and it starts like this. So quite busy time. I think, yeah, Consume to Earn is the next big thing. Layer 2, we have time. Probably they're gonna use Base, I think, for a while. And when it comes to this decentralized storage solution, I don't know. They didn't say too much about it, but they did say that the updated white paper, Stuff white paper, will have more details. So I guess that's when we will reconnect to see what's up with that. And that's it for this week. This was the 50th episode, so thank you to everyone who've been sticking with me from the start. I appreciate the support, the likes, the shares, the comments. So thank you very much for being an engaged community. I'll see you, I hope, next week with more news. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.